It's a beautiful day and I can't stop myself from smiling. Good morning, guys. Okay. We are going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to talk to you for a minute down here in the corner, and then here, I'll move myself to the middle so I can see myself. There. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and get started, because when we get started, my face may have to go away for a little bit. Okay, so first of all, we're going to do a little bit of review. The last video that I recorded for you, we talked about informational text features. And there's two names that we can use. We can call them informational text features, or sometimes you'll hear people call them nonfiction text features, okay? So basically, what those are, you can call them either name, informational text features or nonfiction text features. Basically, all that is a text that is information, that is real facts, and all of the pieces of that are used to organize that text, okay? That's what the features are. Remember, we talked about the features on my face, all of the parts of my face that help me organize my face, like my eyebrows, my eyes, my nose, my lips, my teeth, my ears, my hair, my forehead. Those are all features of my face. Well, a nonfiction text is very similar. It's all those pieces of the text that help you organize the text. Instead of just having all of the words all over the page, there's ways to organize that. So you can go, oh, hey, there's a caption, or, oh, I know what that is. That's a diagram, or that's a map. It just makes things easier when you go to read a nonfiction text. Okay? So let me take a little look at, this is how desperate I am. I'm using a red crayon because I couldn't find a pencil. Okay, so before we get started, I want to review our song just because I like it. And I think it's helpful. Here we go. Text features, ooh na na. We use them when we read nonfiction, ooh na na. They help us understand the meaning, ooh na na. We've gotta listen to our teacher to know all the text features. Text features, na na na. Okay, so you can work on memorizing. So we are going to go ahead and start. First things first, back with the homework, the task that you did for me last time, okay? So I may disappear for a few minutes, but if I do, I will still talk from behind maybe I won't. We'll see. I think when I put it in presenter mode, I disappear, but that's okay. See if we can get it to go. Okay, perfect. All right, so we are going to go over the task that you did for me, and you can check and see how you did, okay? All right, so let's see here. Okay, number one, this one was super easy, okay, or I thought it was super easy. So what you're seeing, and let me see if I can get my, there's my handy dandy little pointer. Okay, so what you're seeing up here is basically the title of each of the sections in the book, and then the page number that you would find those sections on. So if you wanted to know more about the glass frog, you would go to page 32, and that's where you're going to find that information. Sometimes people might call these the titles of the sections, or I'll clue you in on a new word. They might call them the heading. So the heading is kind of like a title, except it's not on the front cover of the book. It's more inside the book. So for this first one, if you said table of contents, ding, 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 you were correct. All right, next one. Now, I believe for this one, and some of you did find both of the text features here, but I believe for this one, I had you focus on this word right here. Okay, so this word has basically been taken and sort of tilted on its side so that when you're reading, you see that word and you go, ooh, that's tilted on its side for a reason. I need to pay a little more attention to that. So if you said that word was in italics, you are correct. This right here, some of you went ahead and identified this text feature. It was pretty easy. If you said those words were bolded, so it made them stand out, made them seem a little more important, you were correct. Next one. Okay, I thought this was pretty easy too. As long as you know that this is the front cover of the text that we are going to read, then these words right here are obviously the title. You got it. Okay, this one right here. So we have some photographs, okay? But then I ask you, what do we call these green little circles right here that explain the photographs? If you said that those are captions, you are correct because they explain what's going on in the photograph or in the illustration, what the author has drawn. Either one. Okay, this one, I ask you, what text feature did you see right here? The word wanted. If you said a bold word, you were correct. Okay, this one is interesting. Okay, so right here you have words in the text that are bolded, and these are important words or words that you might not know the meaning of. And then after these words, you have their definitions. So if for this you said glossary, you were correct. Okay, this one right here. A lot of times located very close to the glossary. If you notice, it's in alphabetical order. So A, words that start with A, words that start with B, words that start with C. Then you see some of the important words and then the page number. So like if I wanted to know more about lizards, I would look up lizard and I see that there's something about lizards on page 8, on page 28, on page 29, on page 46, and on page 74 and 75. If you said that this was the index, you are correct. Okay, this right here, we talked about it last time. It shows us information in a way that's easier to understand. So if you said that this was a chart, graph, or table, you were correct. This right here, I thought this one was super easy. If you look very closely, it even says down here the name of the country or the name of the continent, excuse me, that it shows. This is a map. It's a map of Australia. Okay, this right here, I believe if I remember correctly, I ask you for 2. So first of all, I ask you, okay, what do we call this whole picture here that has words that sort of show us, okay, this is a skull, this is a hand, this is an ankle bone, this is a toe bone. I would call this right here a diagram. Then all of these little pieces right here that show what part of the diagram you're looking at, these are all labels, okay? All right, perfect. So now, got to cue my music here. Hang on just a second. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get ready to do a little informational text feature surgery. So, I'm moving to the other room for just a second if I seem like I'm far away. Okay, so now here is how this is going to work, okay? Got to get myself prepped for surgery, all right? I'm going to move myself out so you can see me. Okay. I'm gonna leave my mask on for a few minutes and then I'm gonna take it off because it may be hard to hear me through the mask. Okay, so if you are doing this text feature surgery at home, you can choose to do it two ways, okay? If you want to actually perform the surgery, here's what I'm going to tell you to do, okay? You're going to get a piece of paper and you're going to number it 1 to 10, all right? And then what you're going to do is on little tiny slips of paper, you're going to write, see these words down here? Here, I'll use my pointer. See these words down here at the bottom in red? You're going to write those on little tiny slips of paper. So you're going to write diagram. You're going to write glossary. You're going to write graph or table, and you're going to put those on the same little slip of paper. You're going to write caption. You're going to write photograph. You're going to write label. You're going to write table of contents. You're going to write bold words. You're going to write heading. You're going to write map. And you're going to write illustration. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should technically have 11 slips of paper, okay? I know that you only numbered your paper 1 to 10, but one of the questions is going to have 2 answers, okay? If you have a mask at home and you want to wear your mask for this surgery, you may. Also, if you have a pair of tweezers, if mom or dad have some, or grandma or grandpa have some tweezers in the bathroom, you can use those tweezers to pick up your little pieces of paper, and then you can actually lay them, like whatever you decide for number 1, you can surgically pick up the piece of paper that you want to put next to number 1 and lay it right next to that number, okay? So if you want to actually perform the surgery, you can. If you're not into surgeries and blood and you don't want to perform the surgery like that, that's fine. All you need to do is number your paper 1 to 10, and you're going to write these answers down with a pencil, okay? So you can do it either way. It's up to you, all right? So now I will tell you, I'm going to post this video, but I'm also going to post a sheet that has some of the definitions of our informational text feature. So it might have the definition for glossary or heading or bold words, okay? Just so you can go back and look at that if you need to look at it. Let's see, there was something else I was going to tell you. Ooh, okay. While you're working, I will warn you, some of these are kind of tricky. This is surgery we're performing. Not all surgeries are easy. So let's say you get to, and I'm going to introduce you to your patients here in a minute, but let's say you get to patient number 5 and you're like, I don't know what to do with patient number 5. Then let's leave patient number 5 alone. Let's do the rest of your patients and then see what words you have left, okay? Because you can only use each one of those words in red once, okay? You can only perform the surgery once. All right, so here we go. Patient number 1. Her name is Susan Smith, and she is 38 years old. Here are the symptoms that she's having. Susan has complained of not knowing the meaning of some words she reads. What text feature does she need? So if she's found a word, but she doesn't know the meaning of it, she doesn't know the definition of it, what text feature would she need? Okay, so you're going to have to figure out which word you're going to have to transplant to Susan. So do you think Susan needs diagram, glossary, graph or table, caption, photograph, label, table of contents, bold words, heading, map, or illustration? Okay, you're going to write that word down, or you're going to take your little tweezers and move that little word over next to number 1. And if you're not sure, then don't do it right now and come back and do surgery when you're all done. Okay, here we go. Patient number 2. Patient number 2, his name is Jaden Jones. He is 72, so he's an older gentleman. Here's what it says. Patient symptoms. Jaden has complained of not understanding where something is located in the world. What text feature does he need if he doesn't know where something is located in the world? What text feature does he need? Doctor, what do you think? Okay, patient number 3. Patient number 3, her name is Maria Moore. She is 41 years old. Maria has complained of not knowing the names of chapters and page numbers to find them on. What text feature does she need? So she doesn't know the chapter name. She doesn't know the heading of the chapter or the page numbers. What text feature does she need? I feel like I showed you that earlier. Okay. Okay, patient number 4. Patient number 4's name is Wesley Wilson. Have you noticed how all these patients have their first name starts with the same letter that their last name starts with? Bonus fact, that's called alliteration. This patient is 19, so this guy's pretty young. Here's the symptoms. Wesley has complained of not knowing what something looks like. Sounds like he has a problem with his eyes. He doesn't know, like when he's reading, he wants to see things and he can't. He doesn't know what they look like. So what two, and you're going to write 2 next to number 4. What 2 text features does Wesley need if he's not sure what something looks like? If he wants to see what something looks like, what 2 text features would he use if he wants to look at something? This one might kind of sound tricky, but if you go down and look at the words in red, I think you'll figure it out pretty easy. Okay, patient number 5. Patient number 5, her name is Brittany Bolt, and she is 94. Go, Brittany. Nice. Okay, patient's symptoms. Brittany has complained of not knowing what specific sections of text will be about. Okay, so she sees the words, but she doesn't know what that whole section is going to be about. Okay, I will warn you, this one might be a little tricky because I haven't talked much about it. So I might save it towards the end. I might, Brittany's getting up there in years. We might want to wait to operate on her to perform the transplant. So if you need to save her for last, that's okay. I think Brittany will want you to do your best job. Okay, patient number 6. Patient number 6, his name is Trey Thompson. He's 27. Here are his symptoms. Trey has complained of not having organized facts and numbers that are easy to read. So he wants to take a bunch of numbers and he wants to kind of organize them. Maybe have numbers like running along the bottom and numbers running along the top. And then he wants something to look at that organizes facts and information. What text feature does he need? If he's trying to organize all of those numbers into something that's really easy to read. Patient number 7. Her name is Wendy Williams. She's 12. She's just a little thing. Wendy has complained of needing more information about a picture or an illustration. So if Wendy has a picture or an illustration, she wants something right underneath it or right over to the side of it that explains what that picture or illustration is about. What text feature would she need? Patient number 8, his name is Raul Rodriguez. Oh my, woo! He is 102. Here is what he said. Raul has complained of not knowing the names of certain parts on a photograph or an illustration. What text feature does he need? Okay, so Raul is looking at a picture. Let's say he's looking at a picture. Let's say he's looking at a picture of my face, okay? And he doesn't know what this is called. And he doesn't know what these are called. And he doesn't know what these are, or what this is. What does he need to tell him what each of those parts are? What would you call the words that tell what each of those parts are. Okay, next patient. Next patient's name is Isaiah Thomas. I believe that was the name of a basketball player when I was little that I liked. Isaiah is 74. I don't think the real Isaiah Thomas would be quite that old. Isaiah's symptoms. Isaiah has complained of not knowing whether a word will be found in the glossary. Okay. Now, I will tell you, this one is a little tricky, all right? But here's basically what Isaiah is wanting to know, okay? Isaiah is looking for the word that he wants to find in the glossary. And in order to do that, Isaiah's older and his eyes don't work as well. So when he looks for that word in the glossary, he needs that word to stand out. Okay. So something about that word needs to be really dark so that he can find it really easy. So what would you call that when you make a word really dark and you make it stand out? Because that's what Isaiah needs. He's having a hard time with his eyes, and he just needs to be able to see if the word that he's looking for is in the glossary. He needs it to be dark and he needs it to stand out. Okay, last patient. Here we go. Patient number 10. Patient number 10's name is Kigo. I've never heard that name. Kigo. Kigo is 22. Kigo has complained of not knowing what the parts of something look like. What text features does he need? Okay, so interesting. That makes me think that Kigo, like maybe he doesn't know what I'm trying to think of something he might want to know the parts of. Oh, maybe Kigo's never worked on a car before and he wants to know what the parts of an engine are. So he wants a picture of an engine that shows all of the different parts of the engine. So what would you call that, where you show a picture of something and then you show all of the different parts of that picture? Seems like we saw that in our frog text. Okay. All right, guys. We are to the end of surgery. Okay. So if there are any patients that you have not performed surgery on yet, or you're still not sure that, you need to go back and check on them because you're not quite sure that they're right, you go ahead and do that. Okay. Just a reminder, you numbered your paper 1 to 10. You can only use each one of these red words once. And on one of the pictures, I ask you to put 2 words, okay? I ask you to put 2 text features. When you get your surgery done, would you please have mom or dad or you or grandma or grandpa or whoever's helping you take a picture of that and either send it to me or post that, okay? Trying to think if there's anything else I want to tell you. Is there anything else on my to-do list? Oh, one other thing, and this is kind of information for mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever is helping you. But here's how this is all going to work, okay? I will keep posting videos every Wednesday, all right? The last day that anything will be posted, and I'm not sure what day of the week it is, but the last day, the day that you're kind of, that's you really want to have all of your videos turned in is by May 15th, okay? So if you're a few videos behind and you need to catch back up, you've got until May 15th to finish all of those videos. And what I've been doing, I have a little spreadsheet and I go in and next to your name, I put a little check mark. If you send me something special, like Aiden T sent me, he went to his Aunt Demi's, which looks like a fantastic place. Aiden, you and I are taking a field trip there when we're able to go on field trips. But Aunt Demi has she's building her own farm. And he had her send me some pictures of bees and potbelly pig, or I think it looks like a potbelly pig, and I think there might have been some chickens in there. I was so interested in the bees that I kind of didn't look closely at everything else. But he had her send me some pictures. So in my little chart that I have, I even make a check mark there that he did something extra that he didn't technically have to do. And if you want to see those pictures, they're in the remote reading room group, so you can get in and look at them. There's some really cool ones. Okay, I think that is all for today. It's kind of a dreary day out, so today might be a good day if you're behind to get yourself caught up on some of these videos. So I will see you next Wednesday, guys. I miss you. Bye.